Hi friends, I am back with another video today. It's been over a month since I made a video and I've been missing making them for you. But as some of my regular blog readers will know, I have been in the middle of a move from Nova Scotia to British Columbia. So while my husband is in Nova Scotia selling our home, I'm staying with family in BC. And I realized I didn't take the time to pack some more stamping supplies. I needed to make some card swaps for my trip to Hawaii from Stampin Up. And that's when I realized, oh my gosh, I have hardly any supplies. What the heck am I going to do? So I'm going to show you what I came up with. Very basic card, but it just goes to show all you need are stamps, ink, and paper. One of the stamp sets I did bring with me is one of my favorites. It's called Butterfly Basics. I did bring my markers. So I used Marina Mist, and I used Wild Wasabi, and I used Early Espresso. I'm also going to be using my Memento ink pad, my small butterfly punch, and I wanted to add some sort of technique to this card as I knew it was going to be pretty basic, but I was so limited on supplies. So what I decided to do was take one of my clear blocks and just wrap some rubber bands around it. I have a couple different sizes here, and I'm going to mask on my piece of Whisper White cardstock. So I just took some paper that I tore out of a notebook because I want to mask on my Whisper White. I'm using our grid paper from Stampin' Up, which is just one of my favorite tools to use because I can line up my paper on the grid and make sure everything's even. And I'm also lining it up with my paper here. Now, some of the large post-it note papers work really well for this, but I didn't have any. This was really trying to be creative. Next, now that I've got those there, you don't want to move them, I'm going to take my Wild Wasabi and I'm using my bowl tip end. And I'm just going to scribble onto the rubber bands. Now, of course, ink pads would work better, but when you're in a pinch and you don't have ink pads or you don't have the color you want, that's when the markers come in really handy. Okay, so I've got that inked up. Then I took one of my old Stampin' Mist bottles, which I just have filled with water, and I just lightly misted my clear block. Then, holding these papers down, I just stamped on and just let it kind of go wherever. Okay, now if I want a little bit darker down here, which I do, I would just simply re-ink. And mist and stamp. Okay, now I'm going to mist this off and wipe it off with a damp rag. Now I'm going to go on top with my Early Espresso. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Mist. Making sure I'm going in different directions. And that's good. Now I want to sponge in the center part. Again, because I don't have my ink pads with me, I am taking one of my large clear blocks, taking the bowl tip of my marker, and I'm just scribbling on some ink. I'm going to mist that. Just going to set that down. First of all, I want to make sure everything is straight again. And using post-it notes that are sticky so they stay in place is a whole lot better than what I'm doing. But I'm just keeping it real and showing you what I had to work with for my swaps. I did bring a sponge. I just cut these up. You get these from Stampin' Up. They're great sponges. And I'm going to hold these down and I'm just going to lightly tap in. And the water on the sponge with the ink gives it a nice look as well. Okay, I think that's good. So there's my background. You can do a lot with that. What you can also do is use your Versamark and then sprinkle on gold or silver embossing powder, whatever color you want to emboss it in, and then you would get that on top too, and that would look awesome. Now I'm taking my paper piercing mat because I'm going to be stamping with my photopolymer stamps, and they work a lot better when you stamp on this pad. I have my fern on my block. I'm going to be using my Memento ink because that is the best ink to use when you're stamping with the clear photopolymer stamps. I'm inking it up really well, and I'm just going to stamp it and hold down just a second, push down nice and firm, and then I have my fern. Next, I just have a little piece of Whisper White cardstock, just a piece of scrap, and I have my butterfly ready to get inked up, so I'm just covering the whole thing in my Wild Wasabi. I'm adding on a little bit of the Marina mist and just the tiniest amount of the early espresso. It doesn't really matter where the ink goes when you ink up the butterfly because it's going to be misted with a tiny bit of water, so that ink is going to blend all together. So I hold it down just for a second onto the Whisper White, and then you get a really pretty butterfly with all the different colors in there. So we're going to punch that out. Just like that. Now we're ready to put the card together. So I'm using my fast fuse. And a little bit in the center. My card base is early espresso. Using a glue dot to put my butterfly on. I'm going to put a little bit of glitter on that butterfly. This is the Dazzling Diamond Glitter, which I love so much. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some pearls onto the card, just for a little extra dimension. And I also got a couple little ink spots and water spots, so this is going to hide that as well. Little tricks. And there's my card. So again, it's a basic card. It's a really neat technique if you try it with different inks and embossing powders. I'm going to show you how I have stepped this up today. I created these cards using our new in colors that are coming out, and I did the exact same technique. The only difference is I used the different butterfly in the stamp set, which coordinates with our butterfly framelits. So then I just stamped it onto the same color cardstock and ran it through with the framelits. And the expressions on the card are from a fabulous new stamp set called You've Got This, and you're gonna love this stamp set. It's absolutely gorgeous. So the names of the new 2015-2017 in colors are Tip Top Taupe, Delightful Dijon. This one is called Cucumber Crush. This one is called Watermelon Wonder. And this last color is a beautiful soft green called Mint Macaron. So there you go. All those cards are made, again, using the rubber band background technique. And you can really have fun with this. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and happy stamping.